Well, in light of what's going on today and what's been happening in the last few weeks, I think, reminding people that they have a civic responsibility and that part of that is being registered to vote, especially in some states like Florida, where the deadline for registration is Monday. So I just thought it was a good opportunity since I didn't have much to say.
You're not allowed to say anything.
Keeping with that, can you both talk about the fact that in a Star Trek television program, you do essentially have permission to be political. This is some shows dance around it. Star Trek's never hidden its political colour. It's always wanted to say something to the political world it's lived in.
Yeah, it's just not as directly about like Republicans, Democrats, or anything. But yes, it's always about social issues and one of the main ways that we have been doing it though is by presenting this diversity of the population of our show without ever those facts of their lives aren't ever they don't matter beyond the fact that they just are what they are. So that's one of the ways that we do it.
Which in an ideal world would be the case, right? So we present it in that way. But I think, I think throughout its history, Star Trek has used the medium of sci-fi in order to get into the human experience. And our show is definitely no different in that sense.
So I have a question. So Stamets has been promoted, and the spore drive we presume is not being used anymore. So on the ship, what is your role going to be now?
It's a really good question. I mean, it's he's also a brilliant scientist, and the research the research is centered around mycelia, mycelial network. There are still applications of that science, and there's also though a real question of like now what, and that's something that is being explored from the beginning of the season, and I think in a very meaningful and human way.
And then so since Culber has been trapped in the mycelial network in some way, like you keep saying you're coming back, are you going to be a doctor again, or is it about your relationship?
I really can't answer either one of those questions. What I can tell you is that we will get to know this person in a really deep way. I mean, I think we hit on a surface last season, and I think we really get to know who he is this season.
And then I have to ask you, because I follow you on Instagram, what are you going to be wearing? Like, are you in uniform? Do you have some cool mycelial wardrobe?
That's why I'm not in the trailer. I can't tell you any of it.
I mean, are you going to be shirtless?
Because literally, like, honestly, if I answered any of those questions, then it would be a clue as to what is going on.
Let's take it this way. Why is their love story an important love story? Why do you think it's a powerful love story for 2018? What does it say to its world?
Well, what it says to the world is just like it to me has always been a very adult relationship. Two human beings who are different in many ways and balance each other out, accept each other for who they are. Like that was the little story Stamets tells Burnham in episode 7 last season about like they essentially told him to shut up, and he was like, okay, that's who you are, this is who I am, and then they kind of like immediately just respected each other, being honest and open. So that's something I think that is meaningful unto itself. I know very specifically for the Star Trek fan community, a friend of mine, one of my very best friends, has been a part of the Star Trek fan community for 40-something years, and there's a pretty large segment of the Star Trek fan community that is LGBT and has been hungry and yearning for some direct representation. They got the moment in Deep Space Nine, all the two women kissing, but there's gender identity was a part of that was not, these are two cisgendered men in a relationship, and that is something that has been really meaningful and resonant within the community itself, as well as I think beyond.
I was going to ask, it was brought up in the panel, your relationship with Tilly, Stamets' relationship with Tilly, because it's like, it's almost like Stamets was pushing himself too far. So what's that relationship in season 2 with Tilly and kind of looking after Stamets?
I mean, I think think that she's the person that Stamets can be vulnerable with and talk openly about stuff that I don't think he would talk about anybody else with. You know, in season 1 there was the really nice scene in the cafeteria in the mess hall. You know, that kind of stuff. And then she helped him out so much. I mean, all of those seeds were planted, and I think they're just bearing fruit in wonderful ways in season 2 from the first episode on. She's safe haven, and but she's also a brilliant scientist unto herself, so that they also help each other with the sciencing of things.
How has working on this show impacted your life, aside from the fandom? How has it impacted or changed your perspective about things?
I think I appreciate this character and this cast and these stories more and more as this current administration exists. Every day, I am happy to escape to 2255 and escape the realities of what's really happening here. On a personal level, it's I've been doing this for 30 years. It's some of the most challenging and satisfying work that I've ever had the pleasure of doing. So it's changed my life in big ways, in terms of how I deal with the world, and in personal ways. It's been very satisfying.
And it's just like I got to do some stuff 20-something years ago that changed my life, and I thought that would be my peak experience, and I was willing for that to be my peak experience. So to have another peak experience is just, I just feel like I'm living in the bonus round of all bonus rounds.
What he said.
And so it's just like a gift and overflowing gift.
Anthony, just because you're a Star Trek fan and you've watched so much of it, this new season, what would you say, like, it's the closest to in terms of other Trek series, right, movies that you've seen?
Anson touched on it in the panel. I don't know if you guys got to hear the panel, but it's just that the sense of exploration, I think, is just brought home a little more again in our show, which was always the intention. The intention of there was always this long game of, like, we start out with this war and this chaos, and then we get back to sort of what leads to what it became, but you kind of got to go through the darkness to come out the other side. And I think that this season will connect those dots in ways that will be they're certainly satisfying to me as somebody who knows it pretty well. So I believe very strongly that they will be satisfying to the people who have been following for all these years.
I trust you on that. Thank you.
Thank you.